today is finally the day. We have been talking about this for weeks and finally I got the entire equipment to make this ULTRAFRAGOLA mirror over here. This is not only a mirror, it's basically a piece of art that you can hang around your apartment, but especially is also a light. Before we even start, we should all go and thank Little Honeybee for texting me on Instagram and suggesting me to do this mirror. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be doing this now. And this piece is awesome. It's going completely viral. It's been on the cover of Domino. Gigi Hadigi is making her selfies in front of it all the time. Basically the most desired piece of the moment. So let's go ahead and make that mirror. And don't forget to keep leaving me comments down below of what I should do next, because I'm definitely reading all those comments and I'm doing it. Equipment! Guys, this is definitely gonna be the craziest IKEA hack video you have ever seen. This is Nissedal from IKEA, and that's basically the entire base that we're gonna use to build up the mirror. You can get this molding foam from the trash can of your neighbors. Okay, yeah, I was kidding, but you have to admit that it's a crazy coincidence that I just found all that molding foam under my apartment. Actually, you can buy it, and I'm gonna leave you all the descriptions of the measurements in the description box. Okay, what did we buy is a really thin molding foam and a thicker one. This is like 10 centimeter. This is just gonna be the external frame that we put at the end of the entire project, so let's keep it aside. Well, these ones are gonna be the base, so like a cage for the mirror that we're gonna stick inside. First step is to measure your molding foam and figure out what is the perfect center, so that you're gonna place the mirror on top, and it has to be centered from the sides, from the top, and the bottom. Once you did this, I had 17 centimeters on each side, and you go and draw the entire frame of the mirror. Cut out this little piece that is extra. Yeah, you cannot buy a molding foam that is huge, so I just attached 3 pieces together. And now you're gonna have to go and draw the lines that you need to make the curves. It's all a curvy mirror on the side. I had basically 4.25 centimeters left to make 3 lines that are gonna turn up into 3 steps. Yeah, basically you go lower and lower every time. You do it on both sides. On the top, that is gonna basically cross with the side lines, but you do not do it on the bottom, because that side you want it thicker so that it balances all your mirror on the floor. Now that we have built up the shape of the mirror that we need, we just have to transform the guidelines into curves so that we can cut them out. By the way, outside or okay, I got this figured out. I just had the most dramatic moment of this YouTube channel, and I was getting crazy figuring out how to make these curves. I tried to do them in, out, I don't know what, but basically I couldn't understand how to put on top the last layer without having a hole, but I totally got it now. I'm gonna explain it. This is literally the most important part of this tutorial. Every curve that you do, you cannot do it towards the inside, otherwise it's gonna end up outside. What you wanna do is the curve pointing outside and ending on the line that you drew, not passing after it to come out. That's how it works. You can see it now on the left side. Every time I did a curve, went inside, touched the line, and went back up. You are gonna do the same identical thing on the right and on the left side, and I'm using here the meter because I wanna make sure that all my lines match the right and the left side, and that the curves happens at the same height. Exactly. Then you do it for all 3 times, because it's 3 steps that we're gonna have to go and cut inside, and that's all you need. So pretty. You can totally see it already. Update on the situation. We have created everything that we have to go and cut out with our precision knife. I did not stick the 3 pieces together because I figured it would have been easier to work on it when it's a smaller piece in front of that huge chunk. But you can totally use 1 huge piece if you buy it like that, or attach them before if you feel more comfortable. That's just the way I thought it would go easier. I basically have the opposite of the trust issues, and I always believe that this poor precision knife is gonna make all his work. But I figured out it would be a lot easier with kitchen knives. Attempt number 1 was with a bread knife, and that's a no. You end up just stabbing the foam. The steak knife is the answer. And there we go. First important step is to go and try it on the mirror and be sure that you cut it the right size, because after that we put the strengthener, there's no way that you're gonna cut it out. And after that, we're gonna go ahead and cut all the tiny curves delicately with a precision knife. Test the mirror inside the foam. Passed! Hooray! Now we pass to the boring side, where we're gonna have to go and cut out the foam in 3 different heights. First of all, you take the external curve and cut completely out the foam till the bottom. Once you did the most external curve, you're gonna go and cut the curves inside as a cake. This means you go inside about 3.5 centimeters and then cut out the step. And the same thing, then at the second step, you're gonna do 3.5, so like at 7, and you cut it again away. So at the end, you have 3 curves, all at different heights. Guys, this is gonna be long, so just put on your favorite series. I was watching the bold type. I actually recommend it. It's funny, and you don't have to focus so much, so you can make your piece of art while looking at it. Okay guys, we arrived to the moment that we did all the 3 steps. Now the lines are too squared, so we're gonna have to pass now diagonally with a precision knife in order to make them more smooth, because the entire shape is super roundy. So let's go on. Yep, there is more foam cutting. You're gonna have to place your precision knife in diagonal and go and cut it all around the entire shape on all 3 of the steps. You wanna make sure that they become sort of roundy. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you're gonna pass at the end with a miracle instrument that's gonna make it smoother, but it's gonna take some time. So yeah, I told you, you need to watch a series, put a playlist, do something else while you're doing this work. Now that you did this more or less correctly but not perfect, we are gonna take out this scrubbing block. It's amazing. It doesn't work like the paper. It's a block and it makes everything so much rounder and smoother. I thought it just changed the entire texture of my foam in a few seconds. Now that you have everything done, you just have to glue the 3 parts together. You can use a Mod Podge, you can use wood glue, any sort of liquid glue. Basically, it's gonna work. I'm gonna place a little piece of tape on top just to be sure that it's drying in the correct position, but we're gonna take it out once it's dry. Once you did this on all 3 the angles, what's left to do is make this little hole on the bottom of your mirror. That's where all your electric cables are going to pass through, so it's important. Time to add the last layer. I just placed it under my structure just to follow the same curves that I had drawn before, because I would never have been able to guess them otherwise. So you follow the same drawing and do all the curves towards the inside. Yes, it's the first time that we do internal curves, and that's because we're going to cover the frame of our mirror with these curves. Once you did all of it, you just go with your precision knife, cut it out. We're going to smooth it later. You just want to take it out completely, you see, and now place it on top of your structure. Tape it just to keep it in place, and now we do the external curves. Yes, we're almost there. You make the curves, you can already see it, the mirror's inside, and you can see the frame. This works perfectly. Go and cut out also the outside of the drawing. Now you can have the frame also on the outside. Then again with a precision knife in diagonal to make it smooth on the outside. We're gonna have to do it also in the internal curves. Sand it around the edges, glue it on the top, and we are done! One day later, and we are finally at the moment of truth. Can you see it? It's absolutely awesome. Obviously, some of the connections are not perfectly smooth, as we can see here. But now that they're connected, I'm just gonna go and clean them out and make the cut perfect. Like, this one is a bit ugly. And after that, we're gonna do the top layer that is gonna cover the mirror. I'm so excited! So guys, we have created this sort of CSI mystery scene plasticky background behind us, and now we're gonna go and cover it out with the polyester. Guys, I want to be honest, and I made so much research about how to make this project come true, and the internet kept telling me that this was not gonna work, but it didn't give me really any alternative. And yeah, the internet even told me that if I would drink lemon water every morning, I would be glowy and skinny and beautiful. So we don't trust the internet, and we're just gonna go with our guts. So my idea was instead to cover the entire material with some primer. I'm gonna pass this several times on top of it so that it doesn't become absorbent anymore, so that it's gonna make a coating. It's not gonna absorb the polyester on the top, and I'm super sure that this is gonna work. Unless, otherwise, I just threw 3 days of work in the garbage. Layer number 2. Guys, last time I had more comments on the fact that I was missing the goggles compared to my entire tutorial. So first of all, thank you so much for taking care of me. Second of all, yes, People, wear goggles, wear gloves, wear a mask. This chemical stuff is not so good for you, and even if you're doing outdoor, you should use it. I'm talking about this video here, the one of the chair that I did 2 weeks ago. If you didn't see it, you should run and see it because it turned out awesome. Let's go on. First step is the one to make some shaky of our polystyrol. After that, we're gonna have to create pink because there was not in the store. And I just mixed white and red together, and that's the pink. Once you mix it, you just need literally a drop of color. It's gonna be enough to cover your entire polyester. The precise quantities are 100 grams of polyester for 2 grams of hardener. But yeah, I got bored in the process and I just decided that it's 1 glass of polyester for 2 drops of hardener and a drop of the color, and that's enough. Now you go ahead and cover your entire frame. And that's how it's gonna look a few hours later. One day later, and honestly the situation is not so bad. Yes, we do see a little bit of the texture going inside, but I'm pretty sure that if we add 2 more layers and then gonna sand it a little bit, it should look great. For the second layer, I did exactly like before, the same amount of polyester and passed it over, but I realized I would need so much time and effort and material to fill up all the little holes. So I took out the silicone. This trick is amazing to fill up all your holes, and then to make it smooth, you just make the trick of the soap. Dip your finger in the soap, pass it on top of the silicone, and it's gonna become super duper smooth. Guys, as much silicone you add, more it's gonna become smooth. It's all about your choice. I did the same thing also on the back because this stayed white, and that was my last step. I'm so excited! We are finally at the moment of truth. We are literally have to install the mirror inside the sculpture that we did, put the lights inside, and we are done! We are done! Yeah, I did wear the same outfit for 3 days. And no, you do not want to smell my armpits. Back to technical speaking, I bought this super cool LED light that also has a remote control. It has instructions in Hebrew, so absolutely useless. But all we can do is go ahead and pray. Let's go and install it in the little hole that we made before. You go and insert the LED inside the hole that we previously made, leaving the cables on the back of the mirror and the rest of the light on the front. Then we add a lot of silicone to go and stick our mirror inside, and it fits! Yes! Yes! It fits! Ah, thanks God. It fits. Not a good start. And this was the sad moment where I realized I forgot to paint the frame. Exactly, the frame of the mirror is visible if you look from the sides, so it was important to go ahead with a little spray paint and cover it of the same color of the rest of our structure. Take off the protection that I put on the window, no, it's a mirror, on the mirror to protect it, and finally we're ready to stick the LED light. Go and stick it on the most external section that you can so that it will stay hidden inside the structure that we built before, and if it's too long, you just go ahead and cut it where is drawn a little pair of scissors. Stick it in. Yes! We are done! And I'm super excited. I still have to find out if the light is going to turn on or not, but we're going to find out that together. Meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe, because next week we are going to do the candy cubes coffee tables. They also look amazing. Now let's go and try this, but before we see the final result, let's look together the things that I would have done differently. Number 1, and I'm not even sure it's something I would change, the smoothness of the material. Yes, the polyester does eat the material away, so if you want it more smooth, just add more silicone as I showed you in the step. But actually, I thought it was super cool as it looked like there, and my friends thought it looked like a rock, and it was even cooler, and I made it for her, so she had to keep it. So it feels like this super dope mirror met this super dope mirror. They met, they had a baby, and my perfect one came out. So I wouldn't change that. But yes, if you want it more smooth, add more silicone. Second thing, the paint. I would have totally spray painted the mirror before inserting it inside the sculpture itself. I just didn't think about it before, but if I could go backwards, I'd invert the 2 steps. And now, let's go see it! Are we ready? I didn't see it on, and I totally did not read the Hebrew instruction book, but this is gonna happen. No! Okay, first attempt was a total failure, but look at it now.